Hey people, welcome back to the channel and continuing with part 2 of this, well, super quick guide on playing Star Citizen. Last time we were here, we just checked out on the station. This is Port Tressler, right over New Babbage, which is the starting location that I usually recommend. It's maybe not the best for most practical things, but it's nice enough. And this is a big part of the first months probably of playing Star Citizen, which is kind of like go enjoy the unknown, go and look around and try to have fun. It's sure gonna be the case that soon enough you'll be realizing that there's a lot of a lot of things that we don't actually get here. Stability, the bugs are pretty bad, the new content is really not all that much. But let's go focus on the positives that we have. We already parked our ship. We have everything stored. We have our drink here. Let's actually go and do a little bit of a mission. Remember what I said about making sure you have your helmet at all times, which I don't. I left it here, so let's go pick it up. You can remove it. Yeah. Ideally, you will be wearing some armor, a backpack, like the one you're seeing here, but let's continue with the introduction to playing this. So you don't have anything. You're just super new out of the box. And the mission I recommend starting with is going to be one of these. I mean, you can go hauling, right? You can go hauling, and this is simple enough as long as you have a ship that allows you to move a few boxes. You can check here how much it is that you need to move around, where you're supposed to go. This is probably a good place to start if you want to avoid combat. The thing is this, in Star Citizen you kind of have to deal with combat eventually. My advice will be going with one of these missions, the mercenary missions. This one specifically, defend occupants. It's now easier than ever. Let's go do one of these. Alright, let's go. Again, have nothing at all, just my starter suit. Let's go pick up our little ship. I think I went with a Drake, yeah, Rambler, right? The cutter over here. A couple of popular questions. Do you lose your stuff when you die? No, not anymore. Your suit, your armor, your guns, anything that you're wearing is gonna be there when you die. You're gonna lose whatever is in your backpack, whatever is in your armor pockets, so to speak. Yeah, anything that you're actually carrying, that's gonna get lost. Another bug, typical. You're supposed to have your ship here. It's not here. Let's just see what we can do about it. Okay. Cutter, where is that thing? Alright, stored. Yeah. It was supposed to be there, but it was not, so we send it back and we bring it up again. My advice for someone that is now playing, ironically enough, what is it that you do? What are you supposed to do? My advice would be, I mean, if you want to go with some of the contracts here, go with the easiest ones. Go try things out. Hauling works. The Wikilow stuff. All of these, I say Wikilow, the collection. This is maybe one of the more sinister aspects of the game right now, which is using free-to-play cell phone kind of monetization tactics by having you collect basically a bunch of different currencies to unlock different prizes. It's really a low point in the game, but it is what it is. Bounty hunting with master modes is really not that much fun, but you can go try it, especially with the low-risk single-seaters. Those are easy enough. The other thing that you have here, mercenary missions, there is one that I do like, which is... where is the thing? Urgent boarding action. This one is nice. It combines flying a ship, a little bit of ship combat, a little bit of spacewalking, and a little bit of actually FPS in a ship, and there's decent enough loot. Actually, you know what? We can easily accept this thing and give it a shot once we're done with the other one. Let's do, though, the mission that we have here. Oh, That is not going anywhere, is it? Let's try again. Again, it is a fairly buggy game, as I'm sure you can tell by now. So the cutter just disappeared when I stored it because bugs. One of the advantage of this cutter is that you can immediately claim it by paying. So yeah, kind of one of the things you eventually end up understanding about Star Citizen. It is fairly broken all around. But this mission that I'm gonna go with now is nice because it allows you to get a nice amount of guns and armor and stuff like that. If you want to make full use of this, you want to pick up one of your boxes, right? Container, one of these boxes, and you can buy them in the station here in the cargo area, right? You just go with the elevator. You have the Galleria where you have a couple shops. You have the cargo center, and there you can buy your boxes and have those delivered with a freight elevator that is right over there. But in this case, with the cutter, the advantage that you have is you have some storage within the ship, and it's actually kind of decent. It's really not all that terrible. You have this storage, which is one SU basically in a locker for storing stuff. If not, you have to move around with your multi-tool, like I explained previously. Let's get into our ship, and let's revisit some of the basics of flying and moving around. Okay, we're seated. This goes for pretty much any ship. U so as to turn the ship on, I so as to turn on the engines, F4 to have that third-person view, hold down Z so as to move around and have the best possible view depending on what you're doing. Now that we need to open the doors, we go with our own Mobi glass with F1, comms, friends, portresler, and you can have a quick a hotkey. In my case, it's F3. I recommend you do the same. F3 basically has this going. So we have the ship. It's on. Spacebar goes up. Control goes down. WASD says to move around, and yeah, Q and E kind of rotate a little bit laterally, so there's that. Then remember, you have two modes for flying. You have navigation mode and you have SCM mode. This is also likely to change soon, but hey, what are you gonna go do about it? Now I'm in SCM mode, meaning shields and guns mode. You're going to be moving around a little bit slower. Also, I still have my landing gear down, and this means I'm going to move super slow. If you're flying very slow and you don't know why that is, N, bring up your landing gear. So let's get back to our thing here. Since I want to jump quickly and move around quickly, I will long press B so as to switch into nav mode. Now that I'm back in nav mode, I want to go there, but you cannot, because you first have to go to the actual planet. Yeah, stupid shit like this. Grow used to it. It is Star Citizen after all. And it points randomly somewhere, but now, yes, I can go towards the destination. And you see a bunch of markers, and these are like stations and settlements and places that I suggest you go around and randomly visit. That's maybe one of the more fun things in the game, especially for first-time players, right? The first few months of playing this thing, unless you are like not doing anything else with your life, it can be a good amount of months that you enjoy this thing of just going to these places, flying around, and see what the hell you see, you know? As you see on the lower left corner, there's my hydration, like water marker. You also have a food marker when you're growing kind of hungry. I suggest just fly around and stop in the mining stations and see what kind of food you can pick around. There is a number of those for you to just go visit and check for the loot boxes. But now let's focus on completing this mission, getting paid, and more importantly, getting a little bit of actual loot. Okay. And again, we don't have anything. We just have our basic starting ship. I just have a pistol, which I don't even plan on using because I don't even need it. These missions now have a few enemies on the outside. Control your speed Make sure you're not getting way too close. When you're about 2 kilometers away or so, long press on B so as to slow down a little bit and have your shields and guns come up. Another key you want to learn to use, L. L for light. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, if it's snowy, it can be like, whoo, what is going on here? But yeah, L. Remember long press holding Z down. And what you see here is a bunch of ships from people that have obviously died and left their ships behind because they don't know how to play. Lots of new players, guys. But let's focus on doing our thing. So we want to get close and we want to make sure you're shooting bad guys and not good guys. I see some people there, right? I see some that are now spawning, but I want to make sure. And on the right button on your mouse, you get like a little bit of a closer view. And this is what I mean. You see a white guy, that's actually the security personnel. That you don't want to shoot. You don't want to shoot that guy, right? You may want to see him get killed, which is going to be convenient for you so as to steal his stuff. Actually, you know what? We don't even need that. Let's shoot this guy here. One of the very weird things is that even though you're flying a spaceship, when you shoot these guys, usually it's not going to be powerful enough to actually kill them. Especially with size 1 guns, I think you have to shoot them a couple times. Anyway, we ended up saving that poor bastard right there. So let's go and do our thing. Now, bring down landing gear with N, right? Make sure you kind of land somewhat conveniently. You don't want to be... Ooh, what is that guy over there? Oh, it's a worker. Okay, little worker bee dude. I to turn off engines. Leave your shields up just in case. It may be saving the day on certain occasions. Let's get out of here. Since there is an atmosphere in this planet, I'll just drop everything on me. Right, I'll just drop everything I have and just go pick up an entire suit of armor with everything that it has. So we're opening here, opening doors again. You want to make sure there's no hostiles around, okay? I'll just go straight for this guy, F. This button right here, and now I can just drag and drop the entire suit of armor on me. This is super convenient. Now I have heavy armor on me, which is the best protection you can have. And I just picked it up from some dead dude. I'm not even, you know, it's minimal effort, maximum reward. This is what you want to do. Get yourself a couple weapons. The heavy armor can carry 2 weapons, which is fairly nice. And you want to pick up something that has a little bit of ammunition. This guy has a decent little gun, so let's pick that one up. And let's double click on these magazines so as to take those. And might as well pick up the... Yeah. T turns on the light on your helmet, which is fairly convenient too. Okay. Good. This is the gun from my guy. I don't even feel I need that. I do want to pick up the med pen. I only have one of those, but it may end up saving my life. Let's just check on this guy. He has one too. So yeah, he actually has 2 of these, and also seems to have more magazines, which I do want to bring along with me because it's the same ammunition that I'm using. I might as well drop this thing here. I'm taking the components, the compensator and the sights from that gun. I might as well pick up this one, which looks a little bit different. And these, the med pens, these ones go here. Remember, these you have to tap on 4 to bring those up, and you use your mouse to use them. But now I'm interested in just completing the mission. Yeah, it's kind of like foggy. Let's go into the bunker and let's do our thing. Right, let's have a few hostile targets. Having lights on, go down. You have to take it easy. You can definitely bring like a ship that has, this one has a better scope. Let's go with this one. You can bring like a Cuddy Red or a Medical Pisces. These have beds regeneration beds, so if you die, those are quite handy, and you will die a lot, especially as a new player. You can follow this advice right here, taking cover here, taking it nice and slow, especially if you have heavy armor, you have a little bit more protection. So yeah, it's a matter of knowing how to avoid some of the enemies here. Make sure you don't shoot those green guys. Those are the good guys. We don't want to shoot those, alright? Sometimes you move a little bit faster, sometimes you want to move a little slower, but basically it's about going around and doing this, taking cover. Righty, okay. Bunch of loot boxes, that's nice. Those red boxes, that's some decent loot. It's kind of strange, I don't see many enemies around. Alright, let's go here. Okay, bad guy is just waiting for me to shoot him in the head, which I will happily do. Ooh, I forgot my multi-tool. My multi-tool is the one that I would use to drag this guy. What I can do is long press on F and literally drag the body, okay? So you drag this guy like so. And then when I have a little bit more time, ooh, a couple more of them, alright. Yeah, as you see, the game is, it is what it is, right? Let's not lose our head over it, but, oh, that's a nice little gun, actually. Crap, I'm losing stuff, I'm caught, I'm trapped inside. Oh, okay, fortunately, no. Ooh, again. Yeah, let's try not getting caught in here. I do want to drag this guy. Ooh. Okay. Let's do this again. Drag body. Okay, he just kind of like, fuck, what's... Anyway, enough of that. that was okay. Alright, let's just try to complete the mission, taking care of the hostiles. With R, you can reload or just empty the magazine, especially if it has like very few rounds. You don't want to drag around a shitty magazine with 4 rounds left inside, so you might as well do that. Where are these other guys? I have no idea. Let's check on the loot boxes. Ideally, I would find like... Ooh, what's going on here? Let's try one more time. F. As I said, an extremely buggy, broken, complicated game. Yeah, let's see if we can finish this thing. It may be a broken mission again. Seems like it because I'm not finishing the enemies, and that's just the way it goes. That's really Star Citizen for you. An often broke. Oh, that's actually nice. Let's pick that thing up, store it. It is a very broken game in a number of ways, so you kind of have to get used to the idea. What about this one? A number of loot boxes, can't use any of them. Yeah, typical. Nice, nice. What about this one? Anything at all that actually works. No loot. No loot, no mission to complete, but you know what? That's Star Citizen. That's simply the way this thing is. The positive is that I got myself some armor, and I got myself... Look at all of these guys. Definitely broken mission. It is what it is. Just leave and don't even cancel it, because if not, you lose reputation. Just leave it as it is. Go away and go do something else. Guys, that's Star Citizen for you, okay? Have an awesome day. Take care.